In this series of videos, I've been walking you guys through a few different things I do on COMC. In this particular video, we're going to look at COMC as a way to populate your budget boxes for card shows. A good budget box is something that's going to attract people to your table. So this is both a way to get some good cards for that and make a little bit of money from that, as well as to attract people to your table in general. So let's take a look at this. All right, so maybe the way I'll start with this is just share with you what I've been buying for my dollar boxes. Because actually, you can see here that there's 409 items ready to ship. Most of those are actually going into my dollar boxes. When I buy cards on COMC, I kind of go through waves of a particular purpose. Sometimes I'll kind of feel like I want to be flipping. So a lot of my purchases, I'm buying things to flip. And sometimes it's just PC cards or mostly PC cards. Sometimes it's, cards that I'm just finding a good deal. Maybe I'm going to sell them on eBay. This batch, for whatever reason, I got into this kind of, spurt of trying to find cards to go into dollar boxes. I've kind of been doing this because I've also been buying some, like on Facebook Marketplace recently, some larger scale things, mostly for the sake of kind of finding some dollar box stuff to just thicken those dollar boxes. On COMC, I'm mostly doing it with vintage baseball as well as basketball, a little bit of football, but I don't know football as well. Vintage baseball and just any year's basketball is mostly what this is. So let's take a look at what I have been buying for my dollar boxes and kind of talk through some things. Now, there's a few ways you can go and look at what's ready to be shipped. One is if you click on this button here, it opens up this, which gives you a list of all the cards that you're going to have shipped to yourself. You can see looking here, this is a lot of 1960s baseball, a few basketball cards. This is one way to do it, and you can look at all of them through there. But actually, my preference is to go to the inventory manager, show items, flag to be shipped. This is just, I find this an easier thing to kind of sort through and see. You can look at it by recently acquired or however you want to look at it. So let's just look through and see some of the cards. So basically, if I'm going to go find cards for my dollar box, the kind of cards I want are cards that will make people want to look through more cards, basically, and I am trying to make money on these cards. Like if it's something that I'm buying here, these award winners cards, hologram cards, really super cool looking cards, I'm buying them for 49 cents. I probably won't put them next to each other in the dollar box. I'll kind of scatter them here and there. That's how I think I'll do it. If it's one player, I don't want like four in a row right next to each other in a dollar box. This is just my thinking. This might not be the right way to do it. Maybe it's better to have it all right there, and then people want four of them and they get four of them. But I'm kind of thinking like, oh, it's a little gem you find every once in a while as you're looking through the different things. Now, if I'm buying something for 49 cents and I'm selling it for $1, this 49 cents, by the way, does include the shipping. I have this on the not the advanced reseller mode, but I've already paid the 25-cent shipping. So actually, that was 24 cents plus 25-cent shipping. So have 49 cents into it total. And I've already paid the shipping cost. So if I put it in a dollar box and sell it for $1, wonderful. I've made 50 cents. 50 cents isn't much. I mean, it is a 100% return on profit. But if you do this with enough, I think it's worth it. And then also even cards where the profit is less, if it's a card that I think will get people to look through the other boxes, then I might get it. Like if it's a card that I'm buying for $1 and I'm going to sell for $1, there's occasions where I might still do that, if it's the kind of card that I think will get people to kind of look in there a little bit more. Because I want my budget boxes to be nice. And I wouldn't suggest only getting your budget boxes from this, because people can get these cards for 50 cents, so maybe they'll get it from you there. But if they're looking through your budget box and every card that's in there is clearly $1 or less, then they might still buy some, but they're not going to look for as long. So I also, from other sources, buying in bulk lots or different ways that I've managed to get some really good deals on some cards that are actually worth more like $3 or something like that. I'll also put those in the dollar boxes, just to try to make it so that there's some gems to find as well. There's a number of different ones. I mean, you can see here, most recently I was looking at these award winner cards just because I think they're really cool, and they're not very expensive, but they're cool. And when I paid 88 cents for this, if I sell this for $1, maybe I'll put it in a $2 budget box, because you could have a $1 budget box, a $2 budget box, a $5 budget box. I think mostly mine are going to be 50 cent, $1 and $2 budget boxes. I'm probably going to do this like this time around. I'll buy a bunch of these kinds of low end cards for that, and then populate it with other things. I was also looking like for baseball, I was either looking for vintage, like I was searching in the 50s and 60s. I'll show you how I search, or I was looking for anything that's like a Bowman draft, Bowman Chrome first, these kinds of things, because they tend to be popular cards. Nice looking, refractors of different sorts. Even if it's a kind of player that's not that well known, it's still a cool looking card, and some people, it's at least going to catch people's eye. So having at least some stuff like that will be nice. So you can see here, I went through a search. You can kind of see what my search box was. You can see how I went through a search box of the award winners. You can see how I went through a search box of some of these Bowman firsts, trying to find those. A bunch of them, keep going through. I was looking through 60s baseball card, even just commons. For let's see, there's more Bowman first. A lot of those. I was looking for 70s basketball cards. I mean, this is a Hall of Famer, 75 cents for a Hall of Famer, but 1777, 78 card. That's awesome. I was getting Blazer cards. I live in Oregon myself, so if I can get a good stash of Blazer cards and have a specific Blazer section, I've also been putting together a Seattle Supersonic section, a Seattle Seahawks section, and a Seattle Mariners section, so that I can also have that as a special part of the budget boxes, and that's specific to my zone. These commons from 1970 and 1970s basketball cards, especially the ones that I think look particular cool, like 71, 72. I just like the look of it. There's some vintage sets I don't like the look of as much. I might not spend 58 cents or 61 cents on a common from that set, but from that set, I think I will. I'll put it in there. It's cool. Somebody will probably want it. So you can see, or if it's a set, like I don't like the look of the 75, 76 top set that much, but it's also, this is for the Blazers section. So, or there would be a player if it was a star or a Hall of Famer, somebody collectible, and it was from a set I didn't like so much, I might still get it then. 55 cents is a cool looking set. It's worth getting. So you can see here, I was definitely searching for 70s basketball. You could go further back, but 60s basketball, there's only like 2 sets and they're very expensive. And here I was going in 60s baseball. So you can see, you can see my mindset as I was looking through for these specific things. A bunch of 60s baseball commons here's 45 cents, 50 cents, 55 cents, 55 cents. If you see 50 cents, it's actually 25 cents I paid for the card and 25 cents I paid for shipping. So I was getting a lot of these, some other non cards that aren't going to be for my budget box scattered in as well, but quite a few cards here. This was really my focus. Topps baseball commons and cards that I thought looked cool and looked nice. So for those ones, all I did was I went and I searched in baseball, and I just went over to this section over here where you can search by the years, and I by the decade, and I went through and searched different decades. So I'd go through here, I'd sort by lowest price, and I'd look through and I'd find things. If they were in this poor to fair section, I would still take a look, because every once in a while, cards might be, some of them have really bad stains, but this is still, if I could find a card that was in more like raw condition or good to very good, excellent to near mint or something like this, and it looked nice, I would try to get stuff that looked nice. I didn't want to get stuff with peeling edges and all that sort of stuff. If it had a little bit of imperfection for a 40-cent card, I'm not going to worry about it too much. But I would try to find good. That's basically what I was doing. I would look through, I'd be like, oh, this is, it's 40 cents, but it's got all these stains, it's a cool set and all that, but still I'm not going to bother with it. And so I would go through and find the ones that I wanted, and then I would go through a couple of different decades. For baseball, I think the 70s was the last one I looked through. Basketball, I might have looked through the 80s a little bit more, the early 80s at least. Inserts that I know of, those award winner holograms that we were looking at earlier. You can see a lot of the lowest price ones aren't so low anymore, because I think I took all the cheaper ones already. I think there's also more than one different title for this, but anyway, so that's the idea for that. And you can find there's other, in the 90s have a lot of cool insert sets if you wanted to find some different stuff. This is one way. I mean, this isn't necessarily, even though you can find cards for 50 cents that you can sell for $1. If you buy a bulk collection of a collector on Facebook Marketplace that's selling, 60,000 cards for, $150, and within there's a bunch of those low end inserts from the 90s or something like that. That's even a cheaper way to populate your dollar box, and you might be able to find more $3 cards and stuff if you can find a good situation like that. But this is more for COMC, and my thought, like one of the reasons I was doing this is because I was getting a lot of dollar cards from other sources, but I realized that they were all kind of looking the same. Like, there would be from one collection, there was all like, junk wax era stuff that would go into dollar boxes, but I kind of wanted a more variety. So I went into here and just started to think about more things that I could do for dollar boxes. So that's kind of what I've been doing recently. I think it's a nice approach. I enjoy the low end of the card spectrum. It's fun for me to look for the cards. I think populating a dollar box is a lot of fun. Just to be completely honest, I haven't yet even set up at a card show. So this is all like I'm not telling you this as an expert in this area. I'm telling you this as my logical way of thinking and as somebody who has attended card shows and noticing that not just myself, but a lot of people get drawn to tables that have good budget boxes. If there's a table with a good budget box, I'm likely to stay there for longer. I'm likely to chat with the person there. I'm likely to, build a relationship with that person. I'm likely to want to look more at the other things they have. I'm likely to going to feel more comfortable offering, deals and bulk deals and stuff like that once I've kind of established that communication with that person. So I figure if I can do some of this to set up a similar kind of arrangement so other people can feel that comfortableness with me at a card show and want to like be at the table for a while and chat and become comfortable like negotiating some different options and different deals, then that's wonderful. So that's kind of what I'm doing with this. So anyway, that's all I wanted to share with this video. I'll check you in the next one. If you enjoy these COMC videos, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and also that notifications bell, because the next few videos are all going to be related to different strategies on COMC. So if this is your thing, make sure you hit that button so you don't miss these. All right, I'll check you in the next one. Peace.